Welcome to the 10-Day Growth Hacking Challenge with your host, Nader Sabri. Today, we're here with Victoria, and she is going to show us something really important about what's happening in our world today. But before we get started, this challenge is for 10 days, 3 growth hacks to 10x your growth. And it is based on the design methodology used in this book called Growth Thinking. If you want to do what we do here, get the book and you'll be able to do some of the cool stuff that we do here. Victoria, welcome aboard. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Nader. Really happy to be here and appreciate.
You're welcome, and congratulations for being nominated. You've been nominated by one of our top stars, so that's really cool stuff. Thank you and welcome aboard, guys. Victoria is in a unique situation. What she does is in a very good timing. Let's put it like that. And we've had other contenders with really good timing, and her situation is heavily related to COVID-19 and the post-COVID-19 environment, not directly, but indirectly because of the mental health challenges. She runs a company called MindTales. I'll let you take over, Victoria. I don't want to take your wind. Go for it. Tell us what it's all about.
Thank you, Nader. So MindTales is a mental health platform. We aim to become one-stop shop app for all behavioral health. So initially, like even a couple of years ago, when I started looking at mental health, even before COVID, I realized there are lots of different issues related to mental well-being. Still, first is social stigma. Not a lot of people want to talk about it. And especially I'm based in the Middle East, and this is kind of like very stigmatized area. And at the same time, there are not enough psychologists or psychiatrists like focusing on that area. So not enough supply. So that's why I decided to look at this area and to think about like the best solution for people, like how to lower the burden to access mental well-being, like the support which everyone needs. So that's why I decided to create an online digital solution, digital wellness exercises, different games, in order to educate people and provide the support they need at the point in time when they need. And at the same time, we launched the product, and it was only for digital wellness courses, and we realized still people need a human connection. So we just like last week, we launched an online live counseling feature.
That's wonderful. I really like the fact that you touch on the point of stigma, because that emotional connection is super important, and you play a vital role by creating a private and confidential environment for people to do this, coupled with the fact that the human connection, although we're all digital or very digitalized today, the human connection never really goes away. And bringing that component into your digital offering, I think, is a really big thing. And it's going to play a really large role into the future where you're going with this, especially the idea behind stress management. I know we touched on some of that, but I think it's really important to point that out. For those, obviously, who are tuning in and want to learn more about Victoria and what she does, you can get her description below and click and download her app and reach out to her if you have any questions. But ultimately, I think the fact that so many people have to manage stress, especially you mentioned the keyword burnout. You recall we were talking about that, and burnout was one of those things when you said it hit me really hard because I know so many people that are burning out, and like you can even say like micro burnouts, like there's little tiny burnouts, big burnouts, but there's a lot of burning out going on because we just can't stay on Zoom forever. As you know, people are zoomed out. I think that's the term coined as like zoomed out. So, and it's true. Like I've seen this as a keynote speaker. I don't do anything over 30 minutes to 45 minutes max. That's the talk plus the Q&A, because people can't handle it. Once you go above that 1 hour mark or 45-minute mark, people start to tune out, not just intention wise, but with all the electromagnetic stress that's happening, it's crazy. So I think your timing is right on that point. So being a new app, I mean, give us a little bit of background to some of the growth challenges you have at the moment and where you're going with some of these growth challenges.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, when you're a new startup, so I think the key is to build awareness, to let other people know about you. And especially now after COVID, more startups and companies are focusing on this area. So actually we want to distinguish and provide our own unique solution. So we are like one-stop shop app for a lot of things, and we provide digital wellness exercises and connection to therapists. So this differentiates us. So I think like the one key challenge is to build brand awareness, and another key challenge is to create trust, like to make people trust us. We really spend a long time like to focusing on having like great therapists, all them licensed from different countries. So we have like really expertise in our app. So now we just need to make sure like people understand and see that.
Yeah,
So
awesome. Okay. And sorry, there's another challenge, correct? There's another growth challenge? Yeah, keep going.
and
Sorry.
yeah, and another would be like to see the conversion rates, higher conversion rates from people who
Mm,
download the app and then using the sessions.
yeah. So the key thing that jumps out at me from when we first talked about this is the idea of building trust, because I think that's the hinge for everything else. Like trust will build the awareness and well, works with the awareness, and that would eventually would lead obviously to better conversion rates because of the fact that people trust you a little bit more. Can you dig a little bit deeper into why there would be some distrust, especially with something so sensitive like this, that is preventing you from growing?
So the thing is not, I think it's normal for people now not to trust a lot of things when,
Yeah,
and especially
it's a
the new
norm.
thing. Yeah, it's a norm. So then it's just figuring from this like untrustworthy, like, so we don't have any like background. So that's why now it's just building up
Yeah,
trust.
yeah.
And I think how we can do so, we have like, we spend a lot of time like creating a great product and having like good quality therapists. So now it's just showing that to
Absolutely.
users.
And I think that's the thing. The key thing is showing, right? Like showing people what the capabilities you have on there and the value you deliver. Because we're going to talk about this obviously later on, but you did mention that there will be a first session for free for get people's feet wet, in the sense of understanding what therapy is about and who the therapist is. I think that's a great way of getting people kind of building that trust. And I really like the fact that you already thought about that in advance. And I know we're kind of jumping the gun on that one, but we'll talk a bit more about that. But trust is such a crucial element. And rightly, like you pointed out, which I love what you said, is that distrust has become a norm. And because of that norm, it's driven things like blockchain and cryptocurrency. And I mean, obviously, that's not what we're talking about here today, but it plays into all of that, where you get a phone call, whoever, whichever telemarketer it is, you just don't trust what they say. Even your own bank, you don't trust, or even your telecommunications company, when they call you, you just don't trust what they're telling you. I completely agree with you. So that's a huge challenge for many businesses. And I think in your case, with something very confidential and very sensitive, it's going to be even more challenging. So on that point, I mean, what are the 3 growth hacks you're planning to execute in the next 10 days?
So yeah, there can be a lot of different ways we can target that and solve it. But then I think initially we need to leverage our therapists and create a content which people will like. So actually providing value add to them. So first thing would be creating like we have on our website knowledge hub, so then just having more like tailored and deep information about like different issues, about stress, about burnout, about depression, anxiety, productivity. We can use like positivity as well, and to have those. And at the same time we have like email lists, so then maybe provide like more distinct like call to action and saying like, okay, here is like your value, this is the information, and then we'll click and download the app and have free session or to use it.
Yeah.
And then as well, like for
Building on more content and stuff like that. Like, yeah, because I think like the core to it is the fact that you're actually content rich, which is right. It's like it's under the hood, but you haven't unleashed the content richness under your hood. And I think that's the core behind the 3 growth hacks you're talking about, correct? Which is
yes.
essentially building a way to help people diagnose what their problems are very early on with very useful information. And then I think in the second growth hack, you want to push them into an email, a way to build trust via email, correct? Like pumping more content, giving them more resources, just continuously driving value by nurturing them. And then I think if I understand correctly, in the third one, you want to be able to create more content that supports people throughout the process, but also distribute that to get more visibility and awareness. If I'm correct, or am I summarizing it right?
Actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Using like correct distribution channels. And then I think the
Yeah.
main is just seeing like the analytics behind that and like what works and what doesn't.
Awesome. That's it. The data tells the story. So guys, that's what we're going to be doing in the next 10 days. We're tapping into a unique area, which is mental health in the sense of an app using digital technologies and with a very rich database of therapists using content and you building trust as one of the key components here, because distrust has become a norm, as Victoria has put it, which I completely agree with. And here we go. Here we are today. For those who want to know more information about Victoria and what she does, even download her app, click below, check it out, give it a spin. The first session is free to give you a understanding of what they deliver. This is the 10-day growth hacking challenge. Thank you, Victoria. We're going to talk more in the next 10 days. Looking forward for you in the first growth hack. Those tuning in, get the book. This is going to help you do what we do. We'll see you in growth hack number 1. See you, Victoria.
Thanks, Nader. Really looking forward to it.